What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jimmy Talks. So I've been seeing on X lately this guy named Tyler Oliveira. He's pretty big on YouTube. You've probably seen his videos before. He's getting attacked by an Indian mob right now for filming a poop-throwing festival in India. Tyler Oliveira filmed a holiday called Diwali in India, and he showed something that most people in the West would find pretty shocking. Part of the celebration involves throwing poop at each other. Like cow poop, because cows are like sacred to them for some reason. So this simple thing shows a huge difference in what different cultures think is normal and clean. It shows a big difference between the basic standards of behavior in the West and those in many other parts of the world, particularly India. But when he posted the video, or it was really just a screenshot, it was just a quick couple seconds from the video, and it really wasn't even a whole video drop. And instead of Indians calmly explaining their traditions, a large group of rabid Indian nationalists attacked him online. They tried to find his private information, and they got it, so they doxed him. Then they threatened him, and they organized mass reports to get his accounts banned, while also calling his phone nonstop every single day, sending him and his family threatening messages as well, and sending pictures of adult material is the most I'm going to say because YouTube's AI algorithm for words. You get what I'm saying. They were sending that to his family, just being gross and vile. Their goal was to punish him for showing something that they did not like. This reaction tells you everything you need to know about the current situation. People in the West are now expected to cheer for every foreign custom. That is why you see American politicians posting Happy Diwali on social media, even though most of their voter base and Americans in general have no connection to this holiday and do not celebrate it. It's a hollow gesture and it's disingenuous at best. It's just meant to look good. But if a Westerner ever looks at another culture with a critical eye, even just by showing what actually happens, like we throw poop on each other, they face a wave of anger and attempts to destroy their life. The way many people from India act when they move to Western countries has become a real issue. Everyone knows about the phone scams that target elderly people, many of which are run by criminals from India. There are also many stories about rude, aggressive behavior in public and just a refusal to fit in with local customs from India. Regular people talk about these problems all the time, but you are not allowed to mention them in public or in the news. If you do, you're called racist. This term just means nothing anymore, to be honest. And Canadians, in particular, are very open about their frustration with what they correctly call an Indian invasion. They see their towns and cities changing rapidly, and they feel that the new arrivals often show disrespect for the way of life that was already there. But honestly, the worst part of all of this is just the hypocrisy of Indians. You often see people from India saying nasty things about Western culture and white people, but at the same time, they are desperate to move to countries mostly made up of white people. They want the safety, the wealth, and the opportunities that Western civilization has built, but many seem to hold contempt for the people and the values that created those good things in the first place. They hate white people, but they want to live around them. So the attacks on Oliveira were not just random, they were organized. Indian nationalists have become experts at online mob attacks. They use the reporting systems on X all the time. They use them on YouTube, whatever it is, and they use it as a weapon. They gang up on the person to try and silence them. They try to find where the person lives and works to scare them. This is a new kind of fighting for Indians since most of them are very far away in their country of like 10 trillion people or whatever. It's just cultural warfare happening online too. And the big tech companies really just don't do anything about it to stop it. At the same time, our own leaders keep talking about how wonderful diversity is. They ignore the real problems that come with letting huge numbers of people from very different cultures, especially a poop-throwing one or like Islam, into a country all at once. They pretend that every culture is the same and can easily mix together, even when the evidence shows that this is just simply not true. The whole Diwali situation with Oliveira is a shining example. This holiday has nothing to do with American history or culture, but companies and politicians act like it is important here because it makes them look open-minded. Meanwhile, our own holidays like Christmas or Thanksgiving are often downplayed or attacked as being offensive. We have to celebrate their traditions, but they are allowed to trash ours. This one-way street just makes Westerners angry. It just pisses off Americans. It makes Canadians angry. It makes Australians angry. Everywhere that's had an Indian invasion, it just pisses them off. They watch their own heritage being erased while being forced to act excited about traditions they do not understand or care about. So the Oliveira case shows that there is no fairness in how cultures are treated. Westerners who make content are supposed to be extremely careful and respectful when talking about other cultures, and he didn't even do anything wrong. He just filmed Indians throwing poop at each other. That's it. And an Indian eating cow poop. But our own culture is open for constant criticism and mockery. Yeah, this double standard will destroy the West if we don't put a stop to it. Everyone's fucking sick and tired of it. Come on now. The way the Indian nationalists reacted also shows a deep insecurity. A strong, confident culture can handle someone looking at it or even criticizing it. It does not fall apart and start screaming. The hysterical reaction shows that underneath the aggression, there is a fear of being honestly examined. So this whole mess also proves that the idea of multiculturalism just doesn't work. The theory that completely different civilizations can live side by side in the same country without any conflict is just a fantasy. Cultural differences are real, and yes, they do matter. When they are not handled carefully, you get exactly the kind of anger and tension that we see now. It's really not that deep. It's not. The big change in who lives in Western countries because of mass immigration is the most important challenge of our time. Is that really so much to say? The rich and powerful people in charge of celebrating this, they see it as a moral victory, but everyday citizens experience it as their community being taken over and their way of life falling apart. What is happening in Canada with mass immigration from India is a warning sign for every other Western nation. People need to pay attention. And I mean, it's really just happening here as well, but we don't really have the Indian problem like Canada has, but I digress. You understand what I'm saying. What we need now is for the West to find its courage again. We need to believe in our own culture and our right to keep it. This does not mean we have to hate other cultures. I've said in past videos, I actually don't hate anybody, and I've even gotten flack for that. Like, no, actually, I don't hate everybody. I do think true diversity, though, would be people living in their own lands. Is that really so much to say? All I'm saying is it just means we should have a healthy love for our own. We must reject the lie that it is always wrong to criticize another culture, while our culture is constantly criticized. The organized attack on Oliveira also points to a bigger problem with the internet. Social media platforms have created tools that allow mobs to easily gang up on people. If you say something that a large organized group, like Indians, do not like, they will work together to get you kicked off the platform. This is a serious threat to free speech. It stops people from having honest conversations. So, in the end, what happened to him is just a small picture of a huge battle. The question is simple. Will the West find the strength to defend its values and traditions, or will we keep on going down the path of feeling guilty and giving up everything that makes us who we are? The answer to this question will decide if Western civilization survives, or if it just disappears from history. It will be replaced by cultures that are more proud and more willing to fight for themselves. The people who lead us in politics and in culture, they need to grow a backbone. But really, they're probably just selling out to the corporate overlords who want them to have H-1Bs so that they can pay people less and get the shareholders to make more money. I'm just at the point where even I think the left wing or the Democrat, whatever, I'm just at the point where even I think diversity and inclusion, when they say these words, even they know it's not true. Right? If you got to get to that position of power in the first place where you work in the US government, like up in the federal level, you're probably not completely moronic. I mean, of course, there's different cases here, but I think these people are just hiding their stupidity and they know the truth. The future of the West depends on us, though, on being able to have real conversations. We need to openly talk about whether different cultures can really live together peacefully. And we also need to admit that every group of people has a right to preserve their own unique identity and their homeland. I can't believe this is even a controversial statement. I think everybody is definitely waking up to that kind of bullshit. But yeah, cancel culture, 2016 era, that politics is just dying. Everybody thinks it's so stupid now. It's almost 10 years of this bullshit. Everybody's sick of it. Let's just be fucking for real for a second, right? So the time for being polite and pretending everything is fine, it's just over. Everybody's sick of it. We have to tell the truth about the problems that come with mass immigration from cultures that are very different from our own. We have to be honest about this kind of stuff if we actually want to save ourselves. We need rules that protect Western civilization and also respect the right of other cultures to be themselves in their own countries. Our survival depends on it. It's not that crazy. All right, guys, that's really all from me today. God bless you and your families. Of course, like I say at the end of every video, I do truly mean that. Remember, America first, America only, whichever one you want to say. It doesn't matter what America first, second, third, fourth, fifth. We are the only ones that come first in our own country. And with all that being said, Jimmy Talks out.